Hola clase. Today we're going to talk about present tense AR verbs. So make sure you have your AR verbs note guide ready and that you're filling it in as we go through the PowerPoint together. Part A on your note guide asks you to fill in the blanks according to the information given. You can answer the first two questions. As soon as I talk through them, we can pause. It says a verb tense is the form of the verb that shows when an action is happening. And the present tense, of course, shows an action that is happening now. So it's in the present. Pause the video and answer the first two questions on Part A of your note guide. Okay, the next question says, what is an infinitive? We'll get to that. So let's look at the slide here on the PowerPoint. It says, right now, you only know the infinitive form of most of the verbs you have learned. Okay, so if you remember, estudiar is an infinitive. It means to study. Okay. And on the note guide, it asks you what an infinitive is. It tells us here that an infinitive is a verb in its simplest form, and it means to do something. So let's pause the video and write that. Okay, also, all infinitives in Spanish end in either AR, ER, or IR. That's the last question for Part A. So it says, what do infinitives end in? Let's put AR, ER, and IR. Okay, here's a list of some AR verbs in their infinitive forms that you've already learned. Okay, notice on your note guide, it's going to ask you to fill in 5 of those and also what they mean in English. So I will go through them, say what they are, and give you the English meaning, and you'll have to write those down or pause or go back so that you can get them all 5 that you would like to use. Okay, estudiar means to study. Escuchar is to listen. Alquilar is to rent. Montar is to ride. Mirar is to look at or to watch. Pasar is to pass or spend. Pasear is to walk or take a walk. Trabajar is to work. Tomar is to take, or remember in Latin America, it can also mean to drink. Hablar means to talk or to speak. Enseñar means to teach. Usar is to use. Contestar is to answer. Sacar is to take out or to get. And llegar is to arrive. So don't forget, you want to mark down at least 5 of those and what they mean on the note guide. Okay. So to conjugate an AR verb in the present tense, and we did talk about what conjugating means in the last video. It means that you change a verb to match its subject. Okay. So there are steps you want to take when you're conjugating a verb in the present tense. All right, so step 1 is to start with the verb infinitive. Step 2 is to drop the AR. And step 3 is to add the following endings. Okay, so we would add O for the yo form, as for the to form, a for usted, él, or ella, amos for nosotros, and finally for ustedes, ellos, and ellas, we would add an. Okay, so for the very last part of Part A of your note guide, you want to write down the 3 steps and fill in the little chart with the endings for AR present tense verbs. Pause the video. Okay, Part B says to write the present tense conjugation of hablar in the chart below. We have those forms on the PowerPoint here. We're going to talk through those, okay? We know that hablar means to talk or to speak, okay? And let me talk through this and I'll have you pause when I get through it, okay? So we have yo hablo. So notice what we've done is we've dropped the AR and added O because yo is the subject. Yo hablo means I talk or I speak, okay? Tu hablas, we've dropped the AR and added as, okay? Tu hablas means you talk or you speak. Usted, él, ella all have the same form, okay? We've dropped the AR and added a, so habla. Usted habla, you talk. Él habla, he talks. Ella habla, she talks. Okay, let's do the plural side. Nosotros hablamos, we've dropped the AR and added amos. Okay, we talk. Ustedes, ellos, and ellas hablan. Okay, so we drop the AR and add AN. Those all 3 have the same ending. Ustedes hablan, you all talk. Ellos and ellas hablan, they talk. Okay, pause the video and fill in your chart. Okay, so the Spanish present tense verb hablamos can be expressed in 3 different ways. So you can translate it roughly 3 different ways, okay? So underneath Part B on your note guide, you are going to want to write down these different ways that it can be translated, okay? So hablamos can either mean we talk / speak, we are talking / we are speaking, or finally, we do talk or we do speak. Okay, so make sure that you get those written down at the bottom part of the front of your note guide for Part B. Pause the video. Okay, practiquemos. Let's practice. It asks us to conjugate the following verbs in parentheses in the present tense. So notice that for each one of these, we have a different AR verb. So we want to make sure we're using that verb and that we're following the steps to conjugate that verb according to the subject given. So let's do the first one together. The subject is yo, okay? The verb they want us to conjugate is hablar, okay? We know step 1 is to take that verb infinitive, drop the AR, and finally add the correct ending. If you look back at your chart from Part B on the note guide, you'll see that the ending for the yo form of AR verbs is O. So the correct answer for numero uno is hablo. Okay, pause the video and fill out 2 through 10 and we'll go through the answers together. Okay, so we did numero uno together. Yo hablo español en la clase means I speak Spanish in class. Numero dos, ella monta en bicicleta en el parque. What we've done here is we've taken montar, dropped the AR, and added a because ella is the subject. She rides a bike in the park. Numero tres, el maestro enseña la clase bien. Okay, so we've taken enseñar, dropped the AR, and added a because el maestro is like saying he, and we know he in Spanish is él, and we also know that when conjugating AR verbs, if you have él, then you want to drop the AR and add a, okay? Cuatro, nosotros usamos la computadora todos los días. We use the computer every day, okay? So we've dropped the AR from usar and added amos. Usamos is the nosotros form of the verb. Cinco, ellos practican deportes en el gimnasio. They practice sports in the gym. Okay, we've taken practicar, dropped the AR, and added on to match ellos. Okay, número siete. ¿Pasas tú mucho rato con los amigos? Do you spend a lot of time with friends? Okay, so notice that, again, it's a question. So the subject pronoun comes after the verb, and we see that the subject pronoun is tú. So we drop the AR from pasar and add as. Pasas would be the correct form. Okay, siete. ¿Llegan ustedes a la escuela temprano? Again, here, ustedes is the subject pronoun. It comes after the verb because it's a question. And we know that the ustedes form of AR verbs would be dropping the AR and adding on, so llegan. Okay. Ocho. Mi amigo y yo alquilamos DVDs los sábados. My friend and I rent DVDs on Saturdays. So here we have my friend and I, which is like saying we, nosotros. And the nosotros ending is amos, so we drop the AR, alquilamos. Nueve. Mi padre trabaja en la oficina. My dad works in the office. Okay, so mi padre is like saying he or él, so we drop the AR and add a to make it the he form. Okay, and then finally, Marta y Miguel descansan en casa los domingos. Marta and Miguel rest at home on Sundays. So Marta and Miguel is like saying they, which would be ellos. And the ellos ending for AR verbs is on. We've dropped the AR and added on for descansan. Okay, so write any questions you may have on your note guide and make sure you ask them as soon as class begins before the quiz. There will be a 5-point mini quiz the next day at the very beginning of class, so please take the initiative, watch the video more than once in order to fully and completely understand the content covered in the video and or to clear up any confusion. At this time, make sure that you fill out Part D of your note guide. Adios!